Hello, Aubrey. I will send you the time schedule for the ceremony and party later. Just so you know.
Are you guys really getting married?
Of course we are. Why do you ask?
Because you had a baby before the marriage. It's embarrassing. You have to have the marriage first before having a baby. That was irregular during our period.
I'm sorry for making you feel embarrassed. But it's not that unusual nowadays, and there are many people who have weddings with their children after they are born.
That is not the point. Who cares about the others? I can't let you do that to my son. Besides, my son graduated from a top university and works for a famous company, while you graduated from a low-ranked university and don't have a big job. It's humiliating to me. You think I worked hard to raise my son for nothing? He could have married a nice young lady from a good family.
What can I say? But I love Nick more than anyone else, and I'm going to do my best to be a housewife, a mother, and work as hard as I can. Of course, I hope to have a good relationship with you too. I hope you'll accept me.
Are you going to continue working as well? At least focus on being a housewife. I expect you to fulfill your duties as the wife of the husband who works for a well-known company.
I like my job. Besides, Nick encourages me to keep working.
Get over yourself. I don't like you. I haven't accepted you as his wife. Keep that in mind.
Aubrey.
Hey, Stella.
Good morning, Aubrey. Today is the day.
Hey, are you really going to marry my son? You think you're allowed to do so?
What happened all of a sudden?
Huh? How brazen! Such a shameless person. Are you going to put all of the burden on my son?
What? Well, I don't understand what you mean. Can you explain it to me?
You should already know. This is why I hate people with low education. You have a weak brain.
What on earth are you talking about? What does my education have to do with my marriage?
You're such a shallow-minded person. Do you think I don't know anything?
What?
You are hiding something from my son and me, aren't you?
Hiding something? No, I'm not hiding anything. What are you talking about, Aubrey?
Wow. After all this time, you're still trying to play dumb?
I mean, what is it? I have no idea.
It's about the child.
The child? Everything is going well. Oh, about that? I was going to tell you about it with Nick after the wedding. I'm sorry for keeping it a secret.
See? I knew you were hiding it.
Yes, it looks like it's a boy.
Huh?
It's too early to tell, but I could see it clearly. It's a boy.
Huh? How can you say such a thing? What kind of nerve do you have?
Huh?
Anyway, stop this marriage right now.
Why? Nick is very happy. And finally, we're getting married today. And you're asking us to stop the wedding?
You're such a shameless woman.
I love him with all my heart. Now we have a precious baby, and I won't break up with him.
How far would you go to take advantage of my son?
I don't understand what you're saying. What do you mean by taking advantage?
Enough. If that's what you're up to, then I have an idea. Who cares if you regret it?
Hey, Aubrey. Hey, Nick.
Stella, what's up? Have you started getting ready? I'm almost there too.
I got a text from your mother that doesn't make any sense.
From Mom? What did she say?
She said I'm taking advantage of you and hiding something, and we need to cancel the wedding.
What? What is Mom talking about? It's our wedding day.
That's what I said, but she seemed to be really angry. It was like she didn't want to hear what I say. And then she said if that's what I'm up to, she has an idea. She doesn't care if I regret it. Just like that. What should I do?
God, I'm so done with her assumptions. She texted me last night too.
What? What did she say?
Well, something like what you said. And she said that the baby is not mine.
What? That's impossible.
Right? So I told her not to say such a stupid thing on the day before the wedding. And then I ignored her. I don't even know why she says so.
Oh, really? What should we do?
Don't worry about it. We're getting married. If something happens, I'll take care of it, so don't worry.
Yeah. Aubrey, what on earth do you think you've done? You ruined our wedding.
I told you. I warned you not to get married and you ignored what I said.
When I was about to appear in front of everyone, you screamed something that is not true. Like, I'm a scammer, or I'm cheating, or the baby's father is not Nick. And when you were done screaming, you ran down the aisle at such a great speed. What was that?
What do you mean? You're pregnant with another man's child. And what kind of mother would let her child marry that person? I can tell Nick is going to be unhappy.
He's not the father? What are you talking about? That's impossible.
You devil woman. I'll never forgive you. Well, thanks to me, I ruined the wedding, so I was able to avoid the worst case. You can't marry my son. Ha 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 ha.
Aubrey, I absolutely cannot forgive you. Do you really think you're allowed to do this? Please don't ever come back to the ceremony again.
Of course not. The child in your belly is not my son's. Get divorced now. How dare you make my son to raise a child of a man you cheated on him with?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Anyway, I'm going to exterminate you. Ha 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 ha.
Exterminate? I'm not a bug. I didn't think you were that kind of person. I never want to see you again. I will cut you off even though you are Nick's mother.
So will I. Well, you're no longer going to marry Nick, so it's inevitable that I'm going to cut you off, though. At best, find a kind man who will be the father of your child. Stella, I hope you feel better. You should thank me for guiding you in the right direction. This is because you tricked my son into becoming the father of your child.
What do you want?
I got you a lawyer. I knew you must be depressed by now, so I did it for you.
A lawyer? We don't need a lawyer.
Why not?
Because I have no intention of getting divorced.
Stop being so stubborn. Sooner or later, you'll have to divorce him.
We've just finished our wedding. There was an interruption during the ceremony, but thanks to the priest, we were able to finish it smoothly. It was truly a holy day. I will never forget this blessing.
Hey, Stella, are you crazy?
No, I'm feeling very happy. Thank God the disturber was gone. We were celebrated by our friends, colleagues, and relatives.
Huh?
Nick seems to be full of emotion.
Nick? What on earth is going on?
He has read through all the messages from you. You got carried away, huh?
What?
Mom, it's me. You did a terrible thing today. What's up with you?
Because, Nick, this woman is cheating on you. There's no need for you to give birth to someone else's child and raise it when it's your first marriage.
I said, do you have any evidence? We've already gotten married.
Nick, calm down. I saw her last night. I saw Stella leaving the apartment.
Yeah, I had some work I really needed to finish, so I had her go back to her parents' house since the wedding was today.
And then, someone came to pick her up. He was a tall, handsome man. He was saying like, "Are you feeling okay? I can't wait to see what kind of baby you'll have. If it's a boy, he may look like Stella." She was seeing the father of that child when you weren't around. I absolutely can't forgive her.
Huh? Mom, what are you talking about?
Nick, it's not too late. Divorce her. I got the lawyer. We can go through the procedure right away.
You do have a bad prejudice. I'm so overwhelmed that I don't even have the words.
Huh?
That handsome man is Stella's uncle.
Uncle? She has a relationship with him?
What nonsense are you saying? He is Stella's mother's younger brother. I heard he's 12 years younger than Stella's mother.
Huh? Uncle?
He's a good-looking guy and looks younger than he is. He came over for our wedding at that time. He came to pick up Stella for her father who couldn't make it.
What? He's not the father of her baby?
That can't be true. The child in her belly is definitely mine.
There's no way I would know, because I've never met him before.
Of course. He came back to the country just for this wedding. Why did you do such a stupid thing?
Well,
You did something you can't take back, okay? You understand?
because I always didn't like Stella. I didn't want to accept her as your wife. Why should I let such a piece of failure take away my only son, whom I worked so hard to raise?
What makes her such a failure?
She's from a low-ranked university, right? She has a job I don't understand. Yet she's so arrogant.
She's not arrogant.
She says she's going to continue working after marriage. If she's poorly educated, shouldn't she at least devote herself to her husband? And yet...
Huh? Stop making fun of my wife. Stella is a much better cook than you. Stella is much better at doing house chores than you.
Anyone can do that kind of housework with a little practice. Don't be so overbearing about it. She's going to live on your income after the marriage, right? As a mother, I can't allow an incompetent, low-educated woman to stick to my son who works for a well-known company. I can see her taking all of the money. So get divorced right now.
You're really making too many prejudices. Have you ever listened to others?
Of course I have. She's a low-ranked, undereducated woman.
She is not incompetent. She's a graphic designer and she's doing a great job. I met her through work.
What?
I had her design our company's event logo. She's a popular designer around here. It took quite a long time to have it completed. I was the one in charge of the meeting with her at that time. She is very accomplished and was sincere in her approach. I didn't feel incompetent at all. She was doing a great job and making a lot of customers happy, so I wanted her to keep working. Fortunately, she can work from home.
She's a designer?
I've told you,
But she's uneducated.
education is not the problem. It's a job that can only be done with her sense of style, hard work, and relationships. Although it fluctuates from month to month, there are months when she earns more than me.
That much?
You call her incompetent, mistakenly thought her uncle was the father of our child and ruined our wedding. I'll never forgive you.
Wait, Nick. I didn't know that Stella was a designer.
That's because you don't listen to me.
Also, the child in her belly, I was afraid it wasn't yours.
Because of your selfish beliefs. How much do you think she was hurt by your selfish assumptions? I'll never forgive you for hurting my precious wife.
No!
I'll definitely break off the relationship with you.
Wait a minute. What are you saying? I'm your mother.
I don't care. Whether you're my mother or not, I can't have any more relationship with a person who hurts my wife. I won't even let you see our kid. Keep that in mind.
Nick, please, listen to me. I didn't mean to...
You meant it, didn't you?
Huh? Stella? Hey, I was just talking to Nick. Get him back.
Nick says he doesn't want to talk to you anymore. He says he has no intention to forgive you.
Oh no. Nick is my only son. You're going to be a mother too, so you must understand how I feel. You have to convince him.
You got carried away, huh?
What?
I will never forgive what you did. I told you that I would never see you again.
You too? Are you having fun bullying your mother-in-law?
Huh? That's enough. You're the one who bullied me. You almost ruined our big day.
That was my fault. But it's also your fault for doing something doubtful.
What was so doubtful about having my uncle drive me home? He's also overwhelmed by you. You didn't just cause trouble for me and Nick, but also for a lot of people.
Oh.
Can't you understand that? I don't want to have anything to do with you ever again. Please don't show up in front of us again.
Don't say that. You are my daughter-in-law, okay? You're going to have my grandchild now. You need a grandmother too.
My mother is enough for a grandmother. I have no intention of letting you see my child.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I made a mistake. Please, forgive me. Not being able to see Nick or my grandchild, I can't bear it. If you forgive me, I'm sure he'll forgive me too, so please.
Please stop fooling around. This conversation is going to go on forever, so let me end it now.
Stella, wait a minute. You'll have to forgive me. I'll be all alone. Do something about it.
I've already cut you off. I will neither forgive you nor help you. I will block you from now on. Well, take care.
Stella!
After that, Aubrey rushed to the wedding, but she arrived after we had already left. She was not satisfied, so she came to the apartment several times, but we reported her to the security as suspicious, so she was caught by the police. When she realized that she would not be forgiven, she asked her relatives to forgive her, but they also knew about the wedding and felt overwhelmed, so she was not taken seriously by anyone. She seems to be spending her days alone and lonely now, locked up at home. She has done so much on our wedding day. She deserves it. Meanwhile, we are spending peaceful days as a couple. Every day, Nick and I look forward to the day when we will be able to meet our cute baby. I just hope that the baby will be born safely and in good health. From now on, the three of us as a family will continue to live happily together.
Amelia, I just want to check something. Your father's company was taken over by my son, wasn't it?
Why are you asking about that out of the blue? My father is still the president of the company. Please don't say crazy things.
So, does that mean you're the next president? Well, that's fine anyway.
Huh? Please stop talking nonsense. Who told you that information?
I visited your house yesterday to see my son. That's when I heard about it.
You visited our house? Are you telling me that you went in without permission? If you're coming, you should have told me in advance.
My son was home since it was his day off, so it doesn't matter. You're just being paranoid, aren't you?
I was working.
Don't you dare to talk back to me.
I have a very serious question. Did my husband say that he was going to be the president of my father's company?
No, he didn't.
We found a note in your working space.
I can't believe you went into my working space without permission. Did you ransack the house?
Of course not. Do you think I'm some sort of thief? We're family, so it's normal to enter each other's houses without permission.
Please don't do that. Even though we are family, it's an invasion of privacy.
That's not important right now. What's more important is what the note said. I saw that it said, the next president will come from my heir. It must be my son, Warlock, am I right?
I just made a note on the phone conversation I had with my father. It's confidential outside the company. Even though you are my mother-in-law, I can't tell you any more than that.
I need to know everything related to that. Warlock is one of my family members who works for the company. He's on the list of candidates for the next president, isn't he? I have to hear at least that much.
As I just told you, I can't talk to you because you are an outsider. I really can't.
Well, by how you say it, I can tell that Warlock will be the next company president. Isn't that right?
Please stop prying. I can't tell you anything about that.
There are 4 of my relatives working in the company, including you and Warlock. Then it's obvious that my son will be the next president, isn't it?
Can we stop talking about this? I can't divulge any information.
No, we need to continue talking. You don't have any male siblings, do you?
I have 2 younger sisters for your information.
It's impossible for a woman to take over the company. That means the only male heir is Warlock.
Please stop speculating and saying strange things. I can't tell you anything, no matter what.
From that reaction, it seems that I was right about most of the things. I'm glad to hear that.
Please give me a break. If you don't have any other business, can we end our conversation here?
Maybe I should ask Warlock for an overseas trip next time. I want to go to Italy again.
It seems that you don't want to listen to what I say.
If it happens, I might as well carry out that plan. Yeah, let's do that.
What are you talking about?
Don't worry about it now. See you later.
My name is Amelia. I'm 35 years old and currently working for a major company owned by my father. 5 years ago, I met and married Warlock, who is the same age as me. He is unreliable and somewhat dangerous, but I thought he was cute just the way he was. I still feel the same way even now. However, I always have a hard time dealing with my mother-in-law. Today, while I was at work, she entered the house without permission, even though she had my husband's permission, and even ransacked my room. I tried to warn her, but she wouldn't listen to me. However, I later regretted that I had underestimated Fanny, my mother-in-law.
I'm sorry to inform you, but I've filed for your divorce.
What? Was that really necessary after all this time? Besides, your husband passed away last year. So shouldn't you have filed the marriage termination papers at that time?
What are you talking about? Don't be ridiculous. I'm grateful to my husband for leaving me a lot of inheritance. There's no way I'm terminating that now.
Wait a minute. Then whose divorce papers did you file?
You and Warlock. It's obvious, right?
Huh? Why?
Since Warlock has become the president of the company, I don't need you anymore. I want you to proceed with the divorce.
What on earth are you talking about? I don't know where to begin.
You have a harsh personality, and to be honest, I didn't like you. But I put up with it because you're the president's daughter. I'm glad that I can finally let that go now.
I knew that you didn't like me, but you're being too arrogant, you know.
Shut up! All I want is my son. Even this house belongs to us, mother and son, from today. I've always dreamed of living together with my son.
No way.
We've just completed our move into the high-rise where you and Warlock live. I'm a fast worker, aren't I?
You're so selfish.
This house is in Warlock's name, right? Then it shouldn't be strange for his mother to live together. Do you have a problem with that?
As you know, I live here too. What were you thinking? Moving out without consulting me?
I mean, you're already divorced from Warlock, so it's time for you to move out. I don't think having a discussion in advance with you is necessary.
Fanny, please listen. Have you heard about the crime of forging documents?
What is that? Do you mean it's a crime to write something without permission?
That's right. It's against the law to make a divorce decree without the permission of the persons concerned. If you contact the authorities immediately, it is possible to revoke it.
But I went there together with Warlock, so I have his permission.
Seriously?
He's been thinking about divorcing you for a long time. I wonder why you didn't notice.
Gosh, that's unbelievable.
Knowing how Warlock feels, are you still going to keep saying that you don't want to divorce him? You're pathetic.
I don't know what to do.
You have no choice anyway. Warlock and you are strangers now. I've sent your stuff to your parents' house, so don't worry.
I can't believe you did this while I was working. This is just too much to bear.
I don't like your personality, but in case you don't know, I'm grateful to you, okay? Thanks for being a stepping stone for my son to become the company's president. I'm sincerely indebted to you.
Anyway, I'll discuss this with Warlock once. There's a lot of confusion here.
You can talk it over, but don't come back to the high-rise, okay? I won't forgive you if you do something annoying like that.
I'm off work tomorrow, so I'll call Warlock over to the cafe and we'll talk.
Oh well, why don't you do whatever you want? See ya! It's been a week since your divorce. I know you're not over it. I just want you to stop obsessing over Warlock.
Don't worry, I'm already over it. We talked about it, and I didn't go to the authorities to cancel the divorce.
You're lying. Every day Warlock says that he's going to see you.
It's true that he comes to my parents' house every day.
I knew it. You're going around calling your ex-husband and trying to get him to cancel the divorce. Can you explain the current situation to me?
I think you misunderstood. Your son is begging me not to divorce him.
I don't think so. Warlock wanted a divorce. I don't see a single reason why he's going to your parents' house. Stop taking advantage of my son for your own good.
You know what? Stop running off on your own without knowing what's going on.
How rude! Warlock said that he wants to divorce you. Also, it's a fact that he's going to be the company's president. I know everything.
I wonder why you said that. As a matter of fact, Warlock won't be the president of our company.
That can't be true. I saw the note you left with my own eyes.
Instead of taking over the company, he's unemployed now.
What are you talking about? That's impossible.
Think about it carefully. In the days before the divorce, you entered our house several times without permission. Each time you came to our house, Warlock was there, wasn't he? Don't you think it's strange?
Which part of that was strange? My son just happened to take a day off from work when I visited him. Our company is closed on Saturdays, Sundays, national holidays, New Year's, and summer holidays. We are on business during weekdays. And yet, Warlock was home. What? I don't understand. Moreover, don't you think it's strange that he hasn't been going to work every day these days? I think he was just using his paid leaves. I mean, he's the company's president, so he doesn't have to come to the office, right? You're wrong. Even if he were the company's president, it's impossible for him to take day off so often on weekdays, even if he uses his paid leaves. Wait a minute. I'm getting more confused. Let me explain it to you step by step. Please listen carefully. First of all, Warlock was fired from our company 6 months ago. What? Why? He was a habitual slacker. He skipped work whenever he found time and didn't do a very good job at all. Our company can't keep a lazy person as an employee. Anyone would take a little time off to relax. Are you telling me that the company doesn't allow the employees to take a break? In Warlock's case, it went too far. It wasn't even in the category of taking a break. He said that he went to visit a client, but he ended up gambling at a casino. Because of that, he once forgot to visit an important client. No way. There's no way my son would do such a thing. I know he was unreliable and not serious about his work to begin with. I used to go together with him when I was in the same sales department. Really? But 6 months ago, I had to leave the sales department. That's when his slacking off habit worsened. Then that means you're the cause too, right? Of course not. Warlock is already 35 years old. I think it's normal for him to do his job on his own. No! I don't think you should leave him by himself, knowing that he can't do his job without help. You were his wife, weren't you? I've been appointed as an executive director, so there's no way I can follow up on the work of the sales department. What did you say? I was appointed as an executive director. Before that, I was the head of the sales department. My father nominated me for the position, so I was promoted. You didn't hear about this? No, I didn't. By any chance, are you the company's next president? I've told you many times, but I couldn't go into details because it's a company secret. But an executive director is a pretty important position. Don't you think so? I can't tell you anything about it. I'll leave that to your imagination. Then why didn't you tell me about that at an early stage? I didn't think it was a good idea to tell you that your son is unemployed if he didn't tell you. Then at least tell him that you've become the executive director. I'm your mother-in-law. I thought you hate me. That's why I didn't tell you, because I knew that you wouldn't be interested in me. I can't believe this is really happening. Warlock is unemployed and you're one of the board members? I'm speechless. I've warned Warlock many times not to slack off. I've also given him proper guidance and training. But there was no room for improvement with him. So we had no choice but to have him quit the company. Please understand. But why did he accept my offer of divorcing you when he was in such a state? It turns out that what he wanted was the high-rise where we lived, and his father's inheritance. My husband's inheritance? He thought that he was going to have the high-rise as part of his share of the property, and if he lives there with you, he'll also benefit from his father's inheritance. With those, he was thinking that he'll have no trouble making ends meet after the divorce. So that's why he accepted my proposal so easily, even though he was unemployed? How foolish of him. However, after discussing the matter with me, various miscalculations and misunderstandings came to light. Then, he told me that he doesn't want a divorce.
I didn't know that.
What did you tell Warlock when you asked him to divorce me?
I just told him that he should leave you because of your harsh personality. Why did you ask that?
Did you talk to him about who's gonna be the next president?
Warlock agreed to the divorce before I could even talk about that.
That's why I told him about your misunderstanding. That's when he realized that he was relying on me financially since he was unemployed and finally started to get impatient.
But was that enough to make him impatient? We still have a house, so it's not like that he's suddenly going to be in trouble. That's strange. You must have some kind of a plan, don't you?
As for the high-rise, I bought it in one lump sum before I got married. Unfortunately, Warlock can't live in it because it's not subject to property division.
Didn't you buy that after you got married? I thought the two of you went to a real estate agent to look for a new house while you were engaged.
We did think about a new house, but my house is quite spacious, and we decided it would be a shame to let it go.
So you and my son continued to live there?
That's right. And then, when Warlock finally understood that if we're divorced, he would be homeless and jobless, he thought that it would be a bad idea to move on with the divorce under the current circumstances. So he is now begging me to cancel the divorce. After all, he's going to be kicked out of the high-rise.
I can't believe I misunderstood everything. Oh my God.
Sorry to hear that.
I apologize for being selfish. Please don't divorce Warlock.
It's too late, Fanny. You and your son are really just like each other.
I can't believe I can't even live in that high-rise, and my son is jobless. Thank you so much for supporting Warlock until this day. I really hope that you'll continue to do the same.
Don't make me laugh. Even though you've apologized to me, things won't change.
You knew Warlock's personality before you married him. You wanted to support him, right?
I thought he was cute at first because he was unreliable and a bit of a mess. I'm the eldest daughter, so I have a caring personality.
Then you should continue to love him. And me too.
Why do you expect me to take care of you and Warlock after what you've done to me? That's impossible, of course.
I've sold my house since I thought I was going to live in the high-rise. What am I supposed to do now?
You got a lot of inheritance from your husband, right? Besides, you're a pensioner, so why don't you do your best to make ends meet?
I can't do that. That's why I moved out. You should have guessed.
Are you kidding me? Did you spend all of your husband's inheritance?
Well, something like that.
Well, you said before that you wanted to go back to Italy again, but looks like you've been traveling overseas so much that you've run out of money.
I was just so happy because I suddenly got a lot of money. I went on a cross-country tour of Europe and also a gourmet tour of Korea. Before I knew it, my balance turned to zero. So please, don't give up on me.
Give me a break.
On top of that, I even got a bill for the property tax on my house. I thought it was impossible to live on my pension alone. That's when I found out that Warlock might take over your father's company.
Strictly speaking, that was your own mistake. Isn't that what you deserved?
Don't say that. It was a ray of light for me. That's why I was going to make him divorce you and keep his earnings to myself. I never thought this would happen.
If you had consulted me in the first place, I would have helped you a lot. Looks like you never listened to anyone.
Then help me now.
I don't want to do that. I'm not sure I'm ready to forgive you after what you've done to me.
So you don't even love my son anymore?
My feelings have completely cooled off after this incident.
I wonder if someone's feelings can change that easily.
Warlock said he felt inferior and desperate because his wife had got a promotion and he was unemployed.
But that doesn't mean I can go back with someone who can decide on divorce so easily. But you said you have a caring nature, didn't you? Why don't you take care of me and my son as your hobby? It will be fun.
Please don't say anything without thinking in advance. It's not the same as taking care of someone you love.
Oh no, then what should I do?
Please think about that on your own. As for the high-rise, we are preparing to sell it, so please leave as soon as possible. Please take care of your own son from now on.
Don't abandon us! Help us! You are our only hope, Amelia!
After that, I also proceeded with the sale of the high-rise and got rid of my mother-in-law and ex-husband. The last time I saw my mother-in-law and ex-husband, they were crying like babies. How embarrassing. My ex-husband was coming to my parents' house every day, so I warned him that if he came again, I would report him to the police. As a result, he got scared and stopped doing that. And then time passed. I was nominated by my father to be the next president of the company. And now I'm working hard every day so that I can manage the company properly. My days are so busy that I have a newfound respect for my father. I have not been in contact with my mother-in-law and my ex-husband since then. Rumor has it that my ex-husband has not been able to find a new job. He kept changing his job since he's not capable to work at the same place for a long term. The property division that I gave him as a last mercy seems to have been used up immediately. Now they are living in poverty with only my mother-in-law's small pension. I tried to do everything I could, but it can't be helped. I feel bad about the way we parted. But from now on, I will forget about those two and try to do my best for the company and my own happiness.